Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with the Naraka BladePoint Morus Cup Season 3 semifinals. We just got to see some really insane play in our solos as we had some very nice matches, getting to see Naraka crushing it towards the end. And of course, we were talking about Odin is out. We've got Runekeeper here for the trios. Rune, how you doing, man? Give me the vibe check.
Look, I'm doing fantastic. Of course, you guys know I had to be here. I was in chat. I was watching all of the 1v1s. Man, the solos today was wild. First of all, Dabier over here, I'm sure he disappeared mid-break for a hot minute. This man needed to go find a new pair of pants because it was Harry Central out here, and he was Willy Wonka, and they were bringing the candy to the candy factory, and this man was having
what I wanted.
Too much fun out here. And you know what, I gotta say, even Nostrad knocked it out of the park. Everybody played crazy. Goddess Waifu, of course, out there putting some schmoves on. But I have to say, Trago won my heart. This man out here with his white katana saying, I'm not gonna play your game, I'm playing my own game, and I don't
katana boy. I love it.
Yeah, Trago wins in my heart. That man put on a heck of a show for us today. And
shout out to Casper too. Casper had an incredible display of gameplay today that I was insanely impressed by, and his movement was incredible, and him at least getting to a point where he was just always in those top 10s in those final circles. It was impressive to watch. So shout out to Casper as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to see what we're gonna get out of trios today. Look, last week I got what I wanted, right? I'd been saying for like 2 weeks that we were going to see Valda Viper and a combination of another hero. That was going to be the new thing. Everybody told me I was crazy. There's no way, you're wrong, it's not going to happen. And then last week, we got to see it over and over again. And I'm just like, that's right. It's very validating. So I'm excited to see what they pull out this week.
And I could not agree with you anymore. That was probably the highlight for me as we take a look at the format for trios. Runekeeper, seeing all of those Valda and Viper ult combos, just the wombo combo of doom. And just a quick refresher, we had up to 40 teams competing. Top 13 from each lobby moved on from the qualifiers. That's what we had last weekend, and here we are at the semi. So the top 4 teams from season 2 are going to be joining us at this point. That means if you're talking about where's my favorite team, where's the team that won, well, they don't have to play in the qualifier. That's the privilege of being at the top, being the best of the best. But everybody here, we've got 20 teams that are going to be moving on from today's semis to the finals next week, where they'll be playing for a chance at not only $10,000, but a spot in the finale, which, I mean, we've talked about it so much. And I don't know, we just have the same sort of scoring system as far as solos go. Your multiplier is going to increase how much value your kills have the deeper that you make it. But we've talked about this, and that final is coming up really soon. I mean, just outside the Morus Cup, we're about to be there and crown a champion for the year.
Look, grand finals is, we've literally been talking about it all season, right? We've been talking about it here. We've been talking about it with all the players. Everybody is so hyped, not only for the chance to go ahead and go play for grand finals. There's $100,000 on the line. I've been watching these guys day in and day out. Like the stuff we saw from Trago today with the parries and then using the grapple last second to cancel moves and stuff. Like, this is stuff these guys have been busting their arse on non-stop. I don't think I see some of these guys never not live on Twitch. I'll go to sleep at night, they're live on Twitch. I'll wake up in the morning, they're still live, they're still out here grinding. These guys
sounds like me.
Want it. These guys want it, and they can taste it. And especially like the guys who have qualified, you think, maybe they come out this week and they're like, nah. They are so close to that grand final. They're pushing just as hard as everybody else because they know if they knock some of those better players out this week or next week, that they're not going to be there in the grand final, and that's one step closer to that $100,000. These guys want it, they've got the passion, and we're seeing it right here.
And I think one of the most interesting parts, of course, we talked about it, we've had a lot of players that have been competing in both the solos and the trios. It kind of makes sense, right? We do the matches one after the other. You're totally okay to do that. So as we get ready to go into what's going to be, I guess, our final online bit for our trios matches. I'm just curious, do you have a favorite player across both of these modes? Do you have someone that's stood out to you as not only team dominant but solo strength as well? I think there are there's a couple of easy safe choices here, but I was just wondering what has been like your biggest takeaway from how we've seen players, kind of cross the gap, as it were.
I think honestly it's really like there's standout players across the board, right? And we've seen every week. Season 1, right, we had a group of players who were very, very dominant. Season 2, we had another group of players very dominant, and we're seeing it season 3 again, a new group of players who are very dominant. And I don't think it's because these other players aren't competing at a level anymore. I think it's because seeing these other players compete at such a high level has made all these other players so hungry to be on that level, to be competing on that level, to know they can walk away with some big cash in their pocket, with bragging rights, knowing there's grand finals on the line, and then even further down the road, potentially worlds, right? These guys, I can't even pick a favorite, honestly, because across the board, they've all been putting their heart and soul out there, and I think we've seen big plays from everybody.
That's totally fair. It's a trap question, to be honest. I don't think anybody has completely set themselves as the number one in the entire space, because it's, as you're saying, it's too soon into the game. So let's get into the trios then. The first match is ready to go. Dobby, Rune, kill it.
Dobby, what do we want to see, baby? Look, you know what I want to see, and I know you want to see some parries. But besides parries,
no, I was gonna ask you. Like, what, because they already sent me my predictions. They've already talked to me about certain things. You're back in the studio with everything. You've done the trios. You know how the trio format goes. What are you looking at as we're about to watch this right now?
We just got a patch before last week, right? And there's some stuff that's been being worked on by these guys, like the ability to double parry now, right? You can parry, and instead of jumping straight into the punish, you can throw a parry again. I want to see that double parry, and I want to see the team comps that these guys have come up with. Don't get me wrong, I think Valda Viper still very, very strong. As we see here, we got Valda Viper Monk, strong team comp. But I think there are some other team comps out here now that have just as much potential to be just as strong.
Did you see that double defense like that?
Oh yeah, he throws the bell out there off onto him. It's great utility from the Monk. The Monk, one of those characters who saw a little bit of love finally in this last patch as well. We talked a little bit about it last week. Oh, speaking of which, Lychee here onto Jodobo, getting the kick with the dagger. You don't see that come out a lot from these players because it's pretty predictable, but he gets the parry onto the range from the Jodobo. Jodobo goes for the bell, but Lychee's gonna knock him out.
Thank you. Jodobo gets eliminated. Tryhard and Nim have to be able to get out of there, but it doesn't matter though, because they do have their extra souls, so that way they have a chance to come back. This isn't the final one for them for the game one. They have a chance here. Now the question is are they gonna resurrect themselves right there and try to get something really fast, so that way they can try to go for the pick off really, really quickly, or are they going to go somewhere? But it doesn't matter because we're already going over to the next fight, and there's so much going on here. Zeno is out already. Number 3 here is going to try to scale this wall here and try to see if they can get some type of aerial view right now. But there's a lot of people going at it right now in this trios lobby immediately as we get started.
This is what we love to see from trios, right? Everybody knows they have a safety net. They've got that first resurrection this early on. So players are looking to get as many kills as they can early on to take into that late game to make them worth as a multiplier. We see the Yoda ult come out here, trying to get a little bit of range for Team 3 here. Last member of their team, even if they can pick up one extra kill here, it's huge for them, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to connect anything. The verticality is going to screw him over here. Zero's dodging out of the way. Yoda trying to go to the run, but she turns around and catches a huge charge right close to the katana. But they're down. Honestly, the Team 3 Yodo here, this is exactly what you wanted. You're kind of already dead in this situation. You've got the res, your team is down. We talked about this before.
I'm gonna be honest, Rune, he had a shot. He had a shot at clutching that. He could have 1v2'd that. I'm gonna be real. That could have went either way. That really could have went either way, knowing he downed one and was close to downing the other. That really was an opportunity for a clip right there.
he had the opportunity to potentially 1v2 there, but no abilities on the board. The Monk still had his Bell back up. The Monk easily could have countered back into that with the Bell at any time. I think there was a possibility, right? But he played that so well, right? His team is down. His team needs to pop and res somewhere else. We talked about this last week. If your team's already down, it makes more sense to go ahead and die so you can go be with your team without giving away that team's location. But picking up the kill before you die is exactly the situation you want to be in. Double grab by Lychee here into Cats. Lychee with a huge double from the Monk ult. See a grapple coming in here. Somebody trying to come in with the dag. It's Sleep Eye. Chalgrin Dubs and Sleep Eye. Huge performance last week. Of course, using the Valda and Viper combo here. We see the Monk get stunned, and they're going to go on to him. Dubs and Chalgrin team's going to wipe this up. This is their Bane's Breath. This is all their loot to take home now.
Absolutely. With the amount of time that they have so much time just to dive in, get as much as they need, and be able to walk out of here. Surprised to see the amount of people that usually do early stuff like this with the Bane's Breath. Usually I'm surprised that we haven't seen too many people wait towards late game to use it, but either or, it is still a good useful tool for them, you know, during these situations. But definitely kind of surprised by that, to be honest.
Oh, this early, it's a great tool to pick up loot from some of these huge areas where these teams have started cleaning each other up. We see Trago Trio here picking Mino up, but doesn't throw it. Waits for them to ult, tries to counter, but it's not fast enough as Mino picks up Trago Trio, and it's going to send them flying. It's Mino versus Trago Trio. Mino walks into the bubble, but gets out. Trago Trio gets a huge spear off, but then goes into their bubble, and Mino catches the uppercut. We see Trago Trio go down.
Trago Trio goes down, but it looks like we haven't hit the 5-minute mark here, so they have an opportunity to resurrect themselves, I think, for another opportunity here. Beautiful dodges by beautiful defenses. Mino is actually getting pushed. No time to be able to at least get out of there, but they tried their hardest to defend as much as possible here. They were so close here. There are some interesting teams here that we have been seeing. This Chalgreen, Doves, and Sleep High team is definitely somebody that we need to keep a close eye on here, because already feeling the domination happen right here. And here comes ASPT as we saw this ult come through. Xeno them is already running. K-Taco, one of the... I love this guy. K-Taco, that's my guy right there. ASPT is going to back out of this fight here. Going to try to see if they can at least catch somebody slipping, but it's unsuccessful as of right now to get any type of pulls. Doesn't look like they're going to cancel. They might actually full commit to their ultimate to see if they can catch somebody, but it's unsuccessful currently.
ASPT here, not a great situation. 2 or 3 teams around here, and all of them waiting for that Monk ult to go down, as we saw right here. We see Team 4 coming in to take over. We see K-Taco's team also coming in. We see another Monk coming up from Team 4 as well, and we also see ASPT go down to Team 4. The rest of Team 6 trying to clean this up, but Team 4 dominantly on top of them. Team 4 opting to disengage here. Or sorry, Team 6 opting to disengage here. We see Team 4 throw a Bane's Breath out as well, guaranteeing them
wow,
from this
2
fight.
Bane's Breath. Wow. 2 Bane's Breath within the last 5 minutes of this game.
Gets picked up by the Monk, and they torture him on the edge of this zone and clean him up. Caught out from the rest of his team. Nothing Xeno can do, and K-Taco and them forced to watch as Xeno goes down.
Actually insane, and is unable to actually help out their teammates, so they are able to back out of this as much as possible. We're already on to the next one here. Pooby, Mime, and Oregon, really big notable names here. Jodobo is fighting and trying to stay alive here, like I said before. Jodobo and Neven gets absolutely yeeted by Oregon. Here comes the ulti by Jodobo here. He's gonna try to see if they can get some pulls from somebody here. Unsuccessful in getting one. Is trying to get the other one, tries to go for Pooby, gonna try to go for Argon. Argon is gonna try to dip out of here as much as possible. Look at the movement from Argon.
Argon here made a huge mistake. I don't know if you saw it. Argon walked up behind Jodobo after the ult, tried to throw their F out, probably rocking the Viper F that keeps you from using abilities, which means Jodobo could grab people but couldn't slam them. But because of the verticality on the ground, actually missed the F and were unable to connect. But it doesn't look like it mattered, as Jodobo is caught out by Team 2 with Argon and Mime here, Pooby, and Jodobo goes down.
Joda
Navon
Bowl,
down
that is,
and followed shortly after by Tryhard.
that would be a GG's on Joda Bowl, someone who has actually had some insane plays, not only in solos, but also trios in the last few seasons here. But even some of the best get knocked out here with an absolutely hungry lobby full of players that have an opportunity here to be a part of
Poobie here as he was trying to go into the win prison. This is huge for Poobie's team. They had no ults except for Poobie's, but he's looking like he might be able to clean this up potentially. Argon and them trying to get any damage onto Chalgren, slept by, and the rest of Team 7 not able to get in to help Chalgren. Chalgren, one hit from dead as he gets slammed by Poobie. He's got nowhere to go. Now it's a 2v1, and the rest of Dove's team not sure how to engage onto this, as it looks like Argon and Mime are about to have their ults back up.
The struggle in that situation to try to get out of there knowing that your teammates don't really have the ability to try to help you is a very tough situation, knowing that it's a 1v3 and the ulti is out. Everybody kind of is feeling good. They have their power-ups, and it's a real tough situation when you're in those situations, because it's really, really rough. But now we're going back on Carson here. He's gonna try to see if he can get some picks here while he's dodging and going back and forth. We actually see 2 ults right now going in, people getting grabbed and thrown like it's a Toys R Us meetup. There's so much going on here. Carson's trying to get some type of damage, and Carson's gonna try to see if they can move and get out of here as much as possible, because right now there's a lot of toys being thrown in the shop right now, and they need to get out of there and stay alive.
You know, double raid bosses up. There's not much you can do. It's just complete chaos there. They're trying to fight each other. They're trying to grab. Jaxie here is going to go down in the chaos to Carson, though. After his ult goes up, we see Team 11 here. We see another Bane's Breath coming down.
Another Bane's
But
Breath!
we don't know. It doesn't look like anybody has the charm. This might be a natural Bane's Breath. Unfortunately, just dropping on the middle of this fight. Team 3 and Team 11 here trying to make anything happen, trying to get out of that Bane's Breath. We see a huge clank come off the Greatsword, but they do have the wherewithal to cancel the stone form so they don't get parried in the middle of this crazy.
The amount of Bane's Breath that we have seen right now, whether it has been ulted from an actual player or just random Bane's Breath, has been absolutely phenomenal. This is the 3rd Bane's Breath we've seen. What is going on? Are we gonna see some like Bane's Breaths towards the end of the circles? I would love to see that.
Look, the immortal dragon god here can smell the blood in the water. He lives for competition, and he smells these fights, and he's just dropping the hammer on the middle of these teams. He's loving this tournament right now.
Absolutely insane, the amount of stuff that's going on here. There's so much time that everybody has in terms of their, trying to get their heals off and stuff, but with their teammates stuck in these situations here, they're gonna try to see what they can do here. And here comes York, and is gonna try to see if they can pick up their teammates and give them at least some heals to keep them alive while they're trying to go through this next fight here.
Lychee's gonna be res, but there's no place for Lychee to go. With the Yodo F on top of him, Lychee is just gonna go back down.
That is unfortunate here. York's gonna try to see what they can do here. Goes for the cannon plays. Goes for a couple of misses here. Is unsuccessful in getting some form of a pick. They're gonna try to play this off here as much as possible.
Team 9 somehow manages to get Lychee back into the game even after the first res went down. Team 4 on the run now. Looks like the Monk was able to pick up most of Team 4 while the Karuni was on the Lychee getting the second res, and it looks like Lychee's gonna pick it back up for their team.
Absolutely insane to see that. And it's one of those things too that, especially in trios, it's very important. If you have the opportunity to pick up your teammates, it's one of the best things that you can do. It's so much better to have your full team of 3 rather than having 2 and/or 1, because if they know that, they will actually take advantage of that, especially if it is a full team, because the more the merrier, as they say in trios.
You know, Karuni here, an extremely strong pick. We hadn't seen her in trios for a long while, but her support utility, her ability to ult, her ability to res teammates from a distance that you can juke, it's absolutely strong. And we see yet another Bane's Breath coming out from Team 6 here for our 4th Bane's Breath of the day. Look at this player from Team 6 here using this legendary dagger to the best of their ability, put these players in the absolute grinder. Do you see the Monk Bell come out? Lychee has enough time to monk up here, but he's got to be very careful. He's just at the edge of the zone. He needs to make these captures happen. Onto Team 6. He's got one, but he can't seem to find the other one, while the rest of his teammate gets taken down from behind by Aston Team 6 here. Lychee's still trying to find the second grab, can't find it, goes for the smash.
Still trying to
doesn't
find
get
it.
The smash off, gets canceled from range. The rest of their team is down. Lychee is a raid boss with no support, and Team 6 is gonna find the end to the raid boss and say, nope, we got this one.
The fact that they were able to finish that off, meanwhile, Mino was caught in a 1v3 situation, was unable to get that done. But it's interesting how in a trio game, you know, people try to stay alive during these extra picks and things like that, and trying to go through like what's next here. ASPT from earlier, Daku VT, which I actually didn't find out was VTuber. They have been playing exceptionally well so far in this trio game. But it also, another thing too, I wanted to ask Maroon, when it comes to the trio stuff and how people end up playing this, right? The amount of character picks that we've seen of the healer goes up immensely when it comes to the trio. Do you think it's mainly because of her Q and being able to heal up her teammates without actually doing anything, or is it more so the fact that, you know, she's very helpful in situations when needed? Because we've seen some beautiful clutches, like for example, seeing Lychee being able to get healed when they needed to heal him. Otherwise, he was out of the game.
So Gurumi's been a very niche pick for a while. We actually haven't seen a lot of her trios until recently. But with people like Tumult falling out of the meta, having a support on your team is very important. Of course, Tumult was the favored support, right? He had that wind prison. He could lock people up. He could give your team time to pick an entire reset. He could separate teams apart. But with his ult seeing the nerfs it saw last patch, we've seen him fall out of favor, which is why we've seen these other teams show up. Like, again, we talked about the Balls of Viper that we've seen a lot of. But again, we're seeing a lot of Kurumi in this as well, because she picks up that support role that Tumult used to fill.
It's interesting to see the character picks here and how certain things are going here. But number 3 is going to try to see if they can catch an ulti and tries to see if they can get somebody down here. Goes for the slashes, is able to catch Pooby though.
Catches Pooby on the third slash. Unfortunately though, if you don't know, Yoda's first and second slash have a stagger effect onto the Monk Varja, but they popped that ulti way too high in the air and weren't able to get anything down on the Pooby because of the verticality. You notice Pooby here holding that character so his team can get some range damage off on him. Pooby trying to find a pick here on somebody else, but can't. He's gonna ult down here, but he's got the gold armor. Pooby with the wherewithal to ult while he's still got health, so when he comes out, surprise, surprise, I've still got armor. But here we're gonna see another Varja pop up here. Again, a lot of love for some heroes we haven't seen for a hard time, but Pooby, the king of grabs, gets grabbed himself. He's got nowhere to go. We're gonna see the slam come out. Can he get away from the next one? He can't get away from the grab as the Yodo sunlocks.
The king of grabs.
He's held down. The king of grabs.
He's gonna get lit.
Is gonna go down to a Varja grab.
Pooby getting caught in a situation where they could not get out of there is very, very tough. Knowing where Argon and Mime is, we don't even know. I see K-Taco in the back there actually being smart here. I see Argon coming down at the top of this mountain here. They're going to try to see if maybe, just maybe, they have an opportunity here, but it doesn't look like Pooby is going to get picked up. They are going to loot the body, and they are going to hold it as much as possible here, knowing that the circle is going to come in. They don't have the time, and Pooby is officially out. That is a GG's for game 1 of trios for Pooby, but that doesn't mean that they are out for the count.
No, not whatsoever. Also, I want you to take a look at the player count. We're third zone closing. It's not even closed yet, and we're down to 19 players left in this massive zone. Carson here and Team 11 trying to get some range shots down onto Team 15. Can't quite find them through all the brush. They're trading shots. Nobody wanting to engage here. This is a difficult time in the game where if you can't guarantee a quick fight, but Team 15 catches a huge musket shot up onto player 2 from Team 11 here and knocks out all of their armor. They're just trading shots here. We do see Team 6 down below looking like they're working their way up into Team 11. We've got Jaxio P from Team 8 as well. K-Taco.
I just got word. I just got word that an entire trio team is sitting in a bush. As an entire trio team is sitting in a bush right now.
Look, sometimes that is the tactic. Can you imagine walking up to that bush and not knowing? Look, can you imagine this? Imagine one player from another team steps out a step, 2 months,
comes out of
walks
nowhere,
past that bush, 3 people instantly ape him down. It's a 3v2 now.
It's a wrap. See you later. Like, just like that, you're out. That is so great. And that's the beautiful thing about this, right? We were just talking about how placement points is such a big factor now, with how you can stay alive and getting those top 3, top 5 placements for your trio team is very, very vital on top of your kills. So in these situations, if you don't necessarily have to fight, if you can just sit back and just wait it out, why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Look, placement points very important, but you've got to have the kills to back that up, right? ASPT's team wiped a couple of teams early. They've got a couple of kills. They're probably feeling pretty good right now. So just like you said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right now is the worst time to engage. Mid game is the time where you're going to get third party to death, where you can't control those third parties. We see Jaxie here getting caught out using his ult. Everybody gunning for this kill. All of Team 3, all of Team 11. But Team 11 using this as a chance to get on to Team 3. It looks like Team 11 picks up the kill there, and Team 3 hopping down knows these guys are low, and they're coming hard for Team 3. Carson trying to loot that body from the kill they got, and it might be a mistake as Carson gets caught out. Team 3 and Team 11 forced to engage here. There's no way to back out of this. It is a do or die for Team 11. Team 11 getting grappled back by hit this Yodo. Of course, Team 3 gets the bar rolled up. There's nowhere for this one to go. If he slams it, he goes down. Team 3 is going to be picking it up over Team 11. Team 11 making a huge mistake here. Of course, one of their team members jumping down, trying to claim the loot from Jaxie's body. But Team 3 saw the opportunity, saw them separated, and capitalized on it. Team 11 still trying to get the res.
Look at this cannon. Look at this cannon work from this third. Look at this cannon from this third party, like trying to get some extra picks here. There's like a couple of damage shots they were actually able to hit here. Player 3 is going to try to see if they can push in on this towards number 11. It's successful and able to get that kill.
Carson goes down to Team 3. That's 2 kills here. Team 3 trying to stop them from getting the res over there, but it looks like Team 15 is gatekeeping the body, trying to get the loot. Team 3 with a huge headshot. We see a return fire from Lexi with the cannon onto Team 3, but nowhere near as almost 900 damage comes out from the headshot from Team 3 here.
Actually insane. The amount of time and the amount of people, actually there was a lot of people in that surrounding area.
Where did you come
like
from?
wow, that was a lot.
Team 3 here in a bad situation here. The macro not great for them with the wall pushing. Team 15 has a stronger position, and it's going to push Team 3 down over the edge where they get chased into Team 11. Team 3 trying to break away from this as much as possible. There's a lot of little rats around. We see one player left from Team 2, another one from Team 11 over here. Oh, but Team 15 is going to get third party from the side from Team 6. See a lot of range trades going here. Team 3 out in the middle of the zone, surrounded on all sides. They are not in a great position, but they're trying to make something happen here as Team 15 catches a huge Nezha's Might onto Team 3.
It'd be like that sometimes when you're trying to get these extra kills here. Struggling with the trios games, like trying to get these like extra pickoffs towards the end here. There's actually 15 people alive. The circle is actually getting a lot smaller here. The aerial view should be coming up in any second now. Technically, this is the aerial view if we really look at it here. Team 3 has their full team alive. Looks like Team K Taco is just sitting. Look at K Taco just chilling. Look at K Taco just chilling by himself. His teammates are no longer around, so he's got to play the smart game right now, and he has to stay alive and get those placement points. He's got to play it smart, and definitely K Taco, the smart man he is gonna play this smart.
Look, we got to talk about Team 3's movement here for a little bit, right? As the Yodo on their team went to chase, using the teleport from their F to follow the ultimate up, get away from Team 6 and Team 15. Team 3 saw what their Yodo was doing, had the coordination to move away, but oh my god, even if their movement was great, Team 7 here comes in and is going to find a huge stun onto Team 3, but can't follow it up as we see Team 6 and Team 15 throwing some range shots down. Team 7 down a man, trying to make anything happen here, but Team 3 is going to go into Slepeye, almost picks up the kill here. Slepeye caught out by themselves, no place left to go, and Team 3 picks up another kill.
Team 3 is actually decimating this lobby right now. And it looks like
movement-
Mine is stuck out in the middle here, is waiting for the parry. He's actually able to do a beautiful dodge here. It looks like Mine's going to try to see if they can get out of here as much as possible. Whole lot of bodies are being flown out, headed straight for Mine. Mine is going to try to see if they can get out of here. Argon is able to do a little bit of defensive to back off player 3 here.
Argon here, huge with that pistol, right? He's got the detonating rounds, so not only does he get the stun from the original shot, but he gets the stun when those rounds pop off. Makes it very hard to follow up after you've been hit with it. And then we see Team 15 trying to opt into the fight with Team number 3 here after they were in their little trade here. But they see Team 3 has fully reset, so they opt to go back into trading these range shots instead of fully committing. But Team 11 comes in and says, I'll commit. Team 3 here, such strong macro. If you notice, again, we were talking about this with the Yodo ult just a second ago. The second that Yodo committed to chasing somebody else, Team 3, the rest of them instantly backed off and went to support the Yodo and made sure they stuck on top of him. Just really strong movement and macro from these guys, always together. Nobody ever really getting too caught out. And always capitalizing when they find somebody who's caught out. Such a small zone. 13 players left alive. Lexi's still using that huge cannon to try to pump out as much damage as possible.
Right now, it's a fight between number 6, K-Taco, is trying to stay alive here and seeing if they can get some form of a pick. They're going to have to get a pick here from one of the souls if they can to get like those extra kills and that extra placement right now. So we have a full team of 3, full team 15, full team 6. And we have a duo for 2, and number 12 is still alive, keeping their gameplay alive as much as possible here. We're gonna see what we can here. It looks like 6 has a very, very widespread out section all to themselves to be able to do what they got to do here. Mine and Argon is going to try to stay alive here and go for some strikes as much as possible. They're getting caught up with number 3 though. Argon is in a very, very tough situation here. He's going to try to go for the stun. It's so close to being down. Are they able to? No, Argon is unsuccessful in being able to get the stun on the full team before they eliminate him. And now it's time to go to the next one already. More teams are starting to push in and try to get some type of a pick. K-Taco comes in playing a little bit of dirty ball.
Look, we see Team 3 here secure the loot off that body. Huge for them. Found Argon sitting out by themselves. Mime here, if you look, connected. Has to TP back to Argon, though, but the rest of Team 2 is down there. Mime in a bad situation, no longer able to res. Does try to get the tether off, but just barely misses it onto Argon. Mime trying so hard to make anything happen here to bring Argon back into the game. Team 3 here, again, with the huge macro, constantly sticking on top of each other. As their other person pots up out in the edge of the zone, they come in
Ulti goes out.
We see Team 3, we got the Varja ult coming out. They're looking to make a grab here. The rest of Team 3 playing Gatekeeper. Huge as they slam and guarantee the kill onto ASPT.
Oh, wow.
Team 3 dominating this lobby right now, trying to find anything. We see, of course, the failed Earthshaker coming out from 15 would be huge if they could connect onto the Monk, but the Monk's got too much verticality. Team 3 gatekeeping every player here. They don't want to let anybody in. The ult goes down, and will Team 3 continue to hold the dominance over this lobby? Sans the Monk ult. We see a
Goes
player
for the
15.
slashes here. Mime is struggling here. Mime has got in a really, really rough type spot right now towards the bottom. Goes for their heal. Tries to see if they can do something about it. And K-Taco is also caught in the middle of the crossfire too. Pops his ult, backs off, throws off a fire dome and says, see you later, I'm out.
This is something very interesting. We don't see a lot of Tarkas right now running the Blackout Fireball, where you throw a lot of fireballs, but in this final zone, having all of that zone control from the fireballs, K-Taco here, trying to make something happen, but he can't, as Team 15 grabs him and knocks him out of the zone. It's Team 15 versus Team 3. 3 left. No more go left. We see the Earthshaker come out.
Wow.
We haven't seen it in competitive play. But player 15
I have not seen the Earthshaker yet.
Purify the souls of
Huge uppercut onto Team 3. Another one gatekeeping. Here comes the
Here comes the ulti.
Team 15 says Team 3, this might have been your game, but no longer. This is our lobby. Get out of here. Team 15,
Wow.
3 members still left alive. One member of Team 3 left, and it's a 3v1 situation. There's nothing Team 3 can do, and Team 15 is gonna clean up the round.
Listen, big ups to Team 3 staying alive to get that second place finish. So that way, even with being massacred by Team 15, they still got that second place. And with those kills, that's going to be giving them a really, really good lead. A good lead that they want going into fight 2 for the semifinals in trios here for Naraka BladePoint. Good job and congratulations to Team 15. That was an absolute insane display. And, you know, shout out to the other team, Team 3. They came, Team 6, right? Team 6 came in and put in a lot of work and put in a lot of effort. Was not able to close it out, but man, did they put in some work.
Yes, they did. Great call. The energy coming out of y'all was absolutely wild there. And Runekeeper, you know, I just for anybody that wasn't curious, there was something going on, that special move that was busted out. I don't know that we've gotten to see that in a big
I haven't
fight
seen
like
that
this
yet.
towards the end game. You want to break down a little bit that one
was
for us, for
nuts.
anybody tuning in?
So Earthshaker is the legendary Soul Jade for the Greatsword. We very rarely see it in competitive. It's very good in trios, but it's what we call a pub stomper. People who don't see it coming are going to get blindsided by it, and once you're caught up in that blender, there's not a whole lot you can do. The issue with Earthshaker in a competitive standpoint is if you're not hit with it, every single part of Earthshaker is parryable. So if you don't have the confidence to land that on 2 or 3 members of a full team and run it straight through the team knowing you're not going to be parried, anybody can slide in and catch that parry last second, and all of a sudden that legendary greatsword you've got is not yours anymore, and we get to see Davi's favorite thing in the world.
I didn't know that could be parried. That's actually insane.
Okay, that makes it sound like it's even more risky of a thing to try. But thank you so much for the explanation. We get to see a little more great sword action at the end of our first trios round. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're going to get into our final trios match and see who's going to the finals next week.
They took my eyes for our god. Was it worth it? Yes. Nothing can hide from me any longer. I now know I was merely a tool to my mother. But I am more than she ever imagined. And I will see all that she has built for her. I am Viper Ning, the Crimson Knight.
Welcome back once again. Happy Saturday to everybody tuning in around the world. We're here for the Naraka BladePoint Morus Cup Season 3 semifinals. The winners will be moving on. There's a lot of them. We still actually have the final itself next week. Hi, I'm Nathaniel, joined by Davier and Runekeeper. This isn't where it all comes to the end, but if you want to get a chance to get a piece of that $10,000 pie, you know this is where you need to perform. Runekeeper, this is where you gotta bust it out. Plus Ultra.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, the finale that we just watched to the first match of trios. How are these guys going to top that? We haven't seen an Earthshaker in 3
Everybody
seasons.
get Flamebringers.
Oh, everybody with Flamebringers. But we haven't seen an Earthshaker in 2.5 seasons. All of a sudden, somebody busted out one of the riskiest moves you can possibly pull into this final, and somebody says, nah, I'm gonna make it work, and just dominates that end circle and goes, this is our game. I mean,
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine that though? Just trying to put in so much effort towards this, and then you end up winning, and then you end up going to the finals, and then
that has to be the craziest feeling. You're competing in a new game, a new esport, making money and qualifying, because there's so many more tournaments down the line, even beyond December. But we do have the leaderboards, so we can see where everybody stands after our first round of trios. Gaming with 16 kills. And,
wow,
that's putting them in a pretty nice place as far as the number of points that they have go. Shout out, I have to just say, I mean, we've seen Athena's Spear. We know, I think we know who these folks are, but also a GME. I just have to point that out because I love memes. So.
I love that. Look at Big Buy and Big Buy and Team 2. 10 kills, but with placement for some reason is a different avenue of where they're placed in the game. It's one of those things where it really goes to show you that placement is really, really important, and when you can clutch your team to get into that top 5 with the kills that you have, you're definitely going to get more points, and the multiplier is even more worth it in trios than it is in solos.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
Makes
point.
more sense.
I mean, especially it's a bit more cutthroat, right? Because if you're getting those kills, you're usually getting them in packages, and if one of your teammates dies, it becomes infinitely more difficult to get anything done past that point too, Runekeeper.
oh yeah, absolutely. And we talked a little bit about this at the very beginning, right? We saw Team 3 originally had 2 of their teammates dead, and that one player was desperate. They didn't run, right? You feel like you want to run. You're like, all right, my 2 teammates are dead. They can go res. I should run to them. But it's smarter almost to go ahead and take that L so that you can go ahead and meet up with your team, and there's no way of tracking you at that point. You can just go look for that fresh reset and get back into it. But that player from Team 3, knowing that that's what they were planning to do, we saw they turned that fight and managed to pick up an extra kill. And if you can also turn and pick up extra points for your team on the way out the door to go take your res, even better. I mean, these guys playing every little thing to their advantage, and it's wonderful to see the difference in skill from the first season to this season. I think Odin talked about it a little bit earlier tonight about how we still haven't seen the skill ceiling for this game, right? Everybody keeps going, all the tech is no, and then every week consistently somebody figures out a new piece of tech, and these guys just keep getting even better.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it. That's any good competitive game. It's figuring out the meta. It's something becoming standard, and either it gets a little patch tweak or people learn to play around it, and you have to kind of adapt and find new ways to play, which I think has been probably the most exciting part. You guys were talking about it last week, but the change up to where the loot tables are, it's not immediately obvious where you're going to go. So because you might go to a different area if you want that high value loot, all of a sudden the weapon for certain types of terrain, you want to maybe have a little bit of a different kit. So I'm interested to see how this one shakes up. I do believe our final trios semifinal is ready to go. So gentlemen, take it away.
Woo-wee!
Dobby, baby. Look, what, in solos today, we saw a whole lot of dagger. This last game, we saw a whole lot of great sword. Is there any melee weapons you really want to see shine this time around?
No, I think we'll see some long range action, to be honest with you. I think closer to the end we'll start to see maybe a little bit more longer range. I think we'll see the bow come out a lot more. Repeating crossbow, we saw a little bit of some love happen earlier, which I was also really surprised by. I think Greatsword has been doing a really good job with like an intensive amount of damage, just sending people out of circles and really taking a lot of these players back. But also the parries has also been pretty stagnant. I haven't seen like too many of them, but they definitely have been here far and wide. Jotabo gets eliminated off the rip, but they do have the resurrection to where they can get back in the game. But it's also one of those things where, you know, when it comes to a game like this, you know, early game eliminations are really important, but then at the same time, if you're the one that does get eliminated, that second chance is really, really important. I think we're going to see some long range. I think we're going to see some bow actions, and I definitely think we'll probably see I think we'll see a lot of dagger action, to be honest with you, because those close range fights are really, really important. And Katana might make some noise and some magic happen too. But I'm not surprised by the greatsword and the longsword getting a lot of action tonight.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm gonna make a prediction for this round here. Look, we're on tryhard. We're spectating with the purple dagger. We see another dagger. Look, already more daggers than we really saw last round here. Team 3, really strong competitor from last round, catches a parry here and goes straight into the punish. We're gonna see them take down Oliver from Team 13. Team 3 with another parry into Team 13 with a double punish and picks up both members of Team 13. Player X from Team 3 here absolutely just popping off.
K Taco just out here just trying to do what he can for his team, is unsuccessful, but should be able to get that resurrection to where they can resurrect and run it back here. Depending on if they might get revived here. I don't think they will. Yeah, they're just gonna go for their soul resurrection here and dip up out of here. Could have been an opportunity there, but their teammate was probably like, nah, just get out of there and let's just reset.
Team 3 here had a dominant performance last game, picked up huge kills way up there on the leaderboard, and they already picked up some more kills. But Team 13 looking to run it back here. We see player 13 there with the katana, hits him. Ooh, X caught out here, away from his team, gets parried.
Beautiful parry!
Barumi, who tethers at the last second and uses the teleport to knock all of Team 13 off. The coordination from Team 3 here is absolutely stunning. Team 3 just popped the shroom here. X unfortunately just walked down into the poison, but is gonna heal up off of their own punch. Knows they're in a strong position, has got another
Goes for another pull.
Oh my god, again, the coordination has gained too hard.
There goes another pull.
3 here needs to pop this off to get the heal. They're gonna go down. The shroom is gonna go away. Team 13 salty with the run back, and Team 3 says go ahead and give us the run back because we're just gonna knock you straight out of this second round.
He said, "Give it to me. You know what I'm going to do here." You know, the biggest thing about me that I've always been really surprised by is the fact that a lot of these players, whenever they get eliminated off the rip, they go straight for the resurrection nearby. There comes the ulti off of a player 11. Is that player 11 or player 25? It's player 15 goes through with the ult on this mountain, which makes it really, really hard vertically to try to get anything done.
Yeah.
But trying as much as they can here, Lately goes down, and it looks like it's going to be tough on this team to try to pick it up here. Carson and their team is doing a fantastic job of holding it back. And here goes the chase. Going to try to see what they can do here to get out of here.
Is a Yodo, the last place you want to find yourself is on the side of a cliff like that in the verticality. Your F doesn't really offer you too much protection there, and your ult is almost useless because of the verticality. They can either go up or down and just completely avoid it and still take pop shots at you. It's just not where you want to be. Pooby here with a rare miss of a grapple.
So what I was saying earlier was, you know, I'm surprised by the amount of people that would resurrect immediately, find some stuff, and go right back into that fight, rather than trying to see if they can reset, maybe look for better shields, look for better weapons depending on what the environment gives them immediately, and just kind of go from there. But a lot of times, you know, I've noticed the amount of people who have done that and just goes back and decimates the same team that got them out in the first place. And it's impressive sometimes to see when that changes, and all of a sudden it goes from, you know, one instance where they're out and then the next they're back in and they're immediately going in on that team that got them out. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Look, sometimes the salty run back makes a little bit of sense. And in that situation, the information that Team 12 had there, you know, they were knocked out by Team 3, but as they took their reses and went to go res, they noticed that another team was coming into third party, Team 3, who was low from their encounter with Team 12, right? So Team 12 had the information that, oh, these guys are going to be low because, you know, they're getting third partied right now. We got them low ourselves. It's going to be easy. Little did they know, Team 3 cleaned up that third party so fast and was able to get a full reset before Team 12 could even get back in. And they just turned it back on them and cleaned them up completely out of the round.
Super impressive here, seeing both of these teams like go from like this absolute dash here, and here comes the chase by Argon. Unsure why Pubi was so far away from him, but he's one pull away, and now he's back into the fight. Pubi gets absolutely sent and down into the canyons here.
We see Mine.
He's gonna go for the chase here.
We see Mine throw the ult out, and now we see Argon going for the ult. Pubi trying to get a reset while this ult is up because they see that Cats has got their monk ult up. Argon just getting obliterated in the hand of Cats here.
Did you see the Q defense as he goes down for the second slash on his greatsword just to get blocked by it? The timing of that was actually really impressive. Was able to get the first one, gets dodged by the second.
Oh, absolutely. These players know the mechanics. They know what they're seeing in front of their face. They've run into this stuff time and time again here. But it's, you know, for us people who are playing regular games at home and stuff, it's very impressive because the timing is minuscule. You have microseconds to respond to something like that, and either crouch to get the duck under the horizontal or do a shift tap to the side to set to the side of the vertical, and just with precision these players time and time again do it. Team 4
going
here
on the downside here of on this other section of this map here. Two teams nearby here. If you have a team that's in front of them, looks like they're going to try to see if maybe they can push on this and see like where the next section of what they're going to do is. They're going to try to back off of this. It looks like they won't try to hardcore engage here. It looks like they was able to get a quest done too. It's crazy the amount of stuff in the battle pass for Naraka BladePoint they also have too. They have so much. Obviously we have this new character that we haven't actually seen too much of during the semifinals. Obviously kind of makes sense knowing that, you know, this new character is very, very new, so a lot of people are just having time just to play around with them and get used to them and stuff like that. LRL is gonna try to see if they can go hardcore on this one. Goes inside the corner here, caught into the Q, and they're in a perfect situation here where it's double Qs getting thrown out here. Actually, both getting caught here on the mountainside. Gonna try to see what they can do. And here comes LR, gonna try to go for the ult team, see if they can get a pick.
Again, this is where we see being a Yodo in this situation. Look, you can't even teleport down to get there and get some hits off. Just barely gets there at the end, but not a lot of huge damage. And followed up by the other Yodo who said, you can waste your ultimate. I'm just going to take you out with this greatsword. Team 4 here, very strong in this situation. Cleaning out the rest of Team 9, who aggressively engaged onto this and are probably regretting that decision right about now.
I know who isn't regretting the decision is number 4 right now, because they're doing really good right now, being able to get that elimination and back out of it as much as possible too.
Yeah, Team 4 here really playing strong. We saw when we first jumped to them, they had a bounty on them. They were playing very smart not to get themselves caught out in a situation, you know, where they were going to get third party by who had their bounty. And then the second that bounty died, so that they were clear, they knew they didn't have that bounty on their head anymore. Team 9 engaged, and they instantly turned and stopped playing the defensive and went, no, we're going on the offensive. Ski here getting picked up by
Oh my goodness, Pubi with the pull from that far away is actually actually insane.
There's a reason we call Pooby the king of the grabs, and it's right here. This man has literally grabbed some of the most competitive players out of grapples, moving in ways that should never see. Pooby trying to get back onto Argon here, but Ski, instead of resetting, coming to chase him, realizing that he's by himself. Pooby going for the overhead, doesn't catch Argon, but catches Cats into the scale rush of the rock. The movement here is insane, but Mito comes in. He's gonna use the bell, trying to get some positive frames, and he does manage to.
Looks like Cats just got buried.
No, so what happened there was Pooby actually belled into Cats and Mino's attacks there, and then as Pooby on the positive frames went to return fire, Cats answered with a bell of his own, threw Pooby backwards, and then Pooby grappled out trying to make anything happen, and they just turned and caught him on his way out grappling.
Actually insane with the amount of timing, but then at the same time knowing that there was another team actually nearby too that could have easily third party that. They were able to get their kill, do what they had to do, and get out of there as fast as possible. Good work by that team to do that. And it looks like team 11 here is being real casual here, going forth and just getting their shields, getting their heals, getting whatever they need, so that way they can get ready for close to final circle. Shadow spread starts in the next 40 seconds here. We're already 29 people alive in this semifinals of game 2 in the trios here. Most of the team number 4 is going to try to go towards this chest here and see if they can pick up something maybe good here. While that's going on here, Chow Green is caught within a storm. Double kills and gets some eliminations. Team 7 is looking really good. We go back to Cats, who's now caught in a situation here. It's being straight grabbed.
ASPT trying to make anything happen here, but he's stuck here between these two buildings. Can't go anywhere. This is their Bane's Breath, though, so he's going to have the time to reset from Team 5 here as the rest of Team 6 chases down Cats and crew. Cats, we see the bell coming out, but ASPT is going to follow it up, and Cats going to go down. You know, it's interesting to see how the meta has changed, right? In Season 1 and for the first half of Season 2, we saw a lot of these teams would catch members of these teams out, kill 1 or 2 of them, and then they would let that third one go and opt for the reset because they were worried about the third party, right? But we see time and time again now, these teams are ravenous, making sure they hunt down that third member of that team, because we saw in Season 1 and in Season 2, those solo members of teams.
Yo, are you seeing this movement? Are you seeing this movement right now by AS? AS just dodged two of their ults, and also 2 of their also attacks with absolute smoothness. Doesn't even really go through anything too insanely dramatic. Immediately just goes to the left, goes to the right, goes forward, does like 2 quick dodges, and just misses, just gets missed by everything. What actual movement? That type of movement that I just seen was absolutely impressive. Shout out to a Verse, by the way, who's actually playing in this trio. Verse is also one of the notable names here in Naraka BladePoint, also a good buddy. Absolutely insane gameplay here, and those guys are actually doing pretty well. They ended up getting eliminated earlier in the game, and now they're still back in it, and they're looking pretty good towards the close to the end of these circles.
Carson and Team 11 not really happy with their decision here. They chased Team 3 into the zone, and it did not pay out as Team 3 was able just to play it smarter. We see Game Too Hard here trying to catch some heals on the team to keep them in it. They've got a long way to go as this zone has closed out pretty far from them, but they're still taking time to loot the bodies. It's only second zone. They know they don't have to worry about that healing cut. You've got a Kurumi on the team. You know you're going to be just fine. Jodobo and Tryhard here without a third member for their team this time around, trying to find anything right now, sitting up top on the ballista. ASPT here also in the zone. All of these guys, look at this, 3 teams going head to head, fighting in the zone. Any minute, you know, if you get low, you could go down here. They're just trying to find anything. ASPT also on fire from that Tarka and getting cut with the heal from the zone, trying to find a pot as hard as they can. Team 6 doing the smart thing here, opting to get out of this zone, try to find the reset, because they know this is not a situation you want to be fighting.
Yeah, definitely not. Storm ticking slowly but surely, and even with the next storm like being close to getting started here, which it already has, you definitely don't want to get caught in circle knowing that there's really, really, really good teammates here for Naraka BladePoint semifinals and trios, just because they can come in, start swinging, and just immediately as you think you are safe, you are just as dead within a couple of seconds here. So it's definitely better that they got out of there as fast as possible, was able to get the eliminations and keep it moving, but also at the same time, they definitely need to make sure not to do that once it gets close to the next circles, because it's definitely going to hurt a lot more. That take is going to start taking away their health in real big chunks.
Oh yeah, and especially once you get to zone 4, when that healing cut comes into play, you cannot afford to be out in that storm longer than you absolutely have to be, and you definitely can't be taking fights out there, because if you're not near the edge of the storm and that healing cut comes into play, it doesn't matter if you win the fight, you're not going to make it back to the edge and survive that heal cut. This is Daku VT out here by themselves, trying to get a reset here, apparently being chased down. Team 4 not seeing them taking control of the ballista up here. We saw them chase out Jotabo and crew off the ballista, and Jotabo and crew just said, you can have it, we don't want this fight. They're down a man, they don't want to fight 3v2 or 2v3 there. ASPT here having a strong showing right now, of course, rocking the legendary longsword. They had a very good game, and again, that encounter in the zone, very risky, but they do manage to pick up those kills and get back in here, and now they're in a great position to control what's left of the map. Zone 3 closes in 10 seconds, and there's only 18 people left alive, Dobby. 18 people left alive in this lobby.
18 people left alive during this finale here for the semifinals. Getting close to that 10K, and also at the same time getting close to seeing who is going to get placed for the finals for trios, which is going to be very, very fun to watch and see where everybody goes and how all this is going to take place. A lot of hesitancy right here trying to get this attack going. A lot of braveness actually going into that as well. It looks like they're going to try to chase here. Goes for the Humble, and Humble goes in for the ulti here. Sees that they can get a pickup. Goes for the hit on at least one successfully here. It's going to try to back up and see if they can hit another one. Was unsuccessful. Goes for the Q. It's going to try to see if they can back out of this. And X gets hit by an unprecedented hit. And Humble might be able to actually get out of that.
This is huge here. I don't know if you, chat, you guys might have missed what just went down here. Of course, Team 4 and Team 3 engaging each other here now, but Humble playing very smart, using their ult to get the teleport range. Oh man, also somebody up on the list is sitting here as well. But Humble, you can hold those attacks from that last attack last second. Waited until X from Team 4 grappled onto them, and then let it rip and knocked them away so they could get away from this fight. Humble with the huge big brain plays here. Absolute chaos breaking out here as Team 4 and Team 3 engage each other, while Team 11 likely sits up on top of the ballista, raining down fire on these players. Humble up here, still watching the action, trying to stay close, but hidden inside of the ballista tower here. We see Team 4, Team 3, and Team 6, all strong contenders last game, dancing around each other, trying to make fights go here. Team 6, we do see the Bane's Breath come out on top of Team 3's location, where there's also going to be a Morus. Team 3 either needs to engage this with the 7 seconds they have left, or they need to give up the Morus and let Team 6 take this loot. Team 3 does back off, and Team 6 is going to get to the Morus and get to claim all the juicy, juicy loot for themselves here.
He's going to try to go for that here and actually see where the next phase of how this goes is next. It's actually funny just to see where everybody is trying to make this an avenue currently with how Brain's Breath is going, but also trying to figure out how everybody else is going to be playing this. There's a lot of stuff happening
here. Team 4 finds Daku VT out in the open. Daku using the umbrella to teleport here, playing a very sneaky Kurumi here. Daku very good at getting those teleports and getting away. Makes it look like they're playing Matari when they're playing Kurumi. But Daku getting saved here as Team 14 throws the shots out here to disencourage Team 14, but it's not enough. But Team 3 comes in, and Team 4 is going to turn their attention onto Team 3, and maybe Daku manages to escape here. Game too hard, gets the clink, going into that huge charge, right click from the greatsword from Team 4, and it does look like Daku has managed to get away and get a reset as Team 3 and Team 4 continue to battle it out as they have this entire match.
Lot of movement coming in right now with everything happening inside the small little alleyway right now. Here comes the perfect vertical to actually do this with that great sword here. Looks like they were unsuccessful here, and there goes the ulti. He's gonna try to see if they can pull him. He goes around the corner just in the nick of time. That could have been really, really bad if he didn't get pulled by that one. Goes for it and gets another pull from someone else.
Waiting for his team to respond so they can get the maximum amount of damage. Doesn't get the slam, holds too long. Does pick up another grab. And he does go down in his hand, but Team 4 didn't get the slam here. Team 3 all over his ankles. He's going to have to bail up here trying to get out. And Team 3 is going to answer back with their own Varja ult as they cover their buddy, picking up player 3 from Team 3. And Game Too Hard gets a full heal out here onto player 3. And the rest of Team 3 here still trying to chase down Team 4, but finding some shots coming into the back onto Team 3 here. See, Try Too Hard and Jodobo trying to make something happen here. Try Too Hard opting to get back inside to where Jodobo is, but all of Team 3 is collapsing on these two. They might be regretting taking some shots at Team 3 from behind here now as Try Too Hard gets caught out.
The question is are they going to be able to get the kill, though? Because whether or not you can do all of this damage is great, but it doesn't mean anything once you get that once you don't get those kills. And that's very, very vital, knowing that these next couple of circles here is going to get tighter and tighter. And there's 17 people alive. There's still a lot of people that are kind of widespread to where there's still fights that can get taken right now. People can still push and make a fight happen where somebody can easily get eliminated. But knowing how close these circles are, people are definitely going to start playing smart and getting a little bit hesitant. But these are like kind of the now or nevers within Naraka currently.
Jodobo was on the back foot, but manages to slip away as more and more interventions come out. Team 3 trying to find a kill on anybody here. They caught Sly J and Jaxie out over here. They're trying to make something happen onto this team. Time and time again, Team 3 getting very close to picking up some kills here, but having another team come in and take their attention, and they can't seem to secure a kill. Jaxie still, again, slipping away with one hit. Team 3 trying here as they find other teams once again stepping in, getting some shots from the distance, and Jaxie steps away. Team 3 has pumped out huge damage over the last minute, but we haven't seen a single kill come out of it. They've got to feel so frustrated right now, Bobby.
Definitely frustrated, but also knowing that at least their whole team is still alive. So there's definitely the avenue of knowing that, like, hey, there is an option here to either play this out smart or go for the next phases and get ready for, you know, how these ending circles are going to be. And look how widespread the circle is. There's so much area, there's so much room for movement, there's so much time to do certain things. So it's going to be interesting here. They don't necessarily have to push on anything if they don't need to. Knowing that placement, like I said, is very, very, very important.
We see a lot of move here. Sly goes down to Team 4 finally. But again, you're talking about all the movement that there is here, but look at all these buildings. Look at all the in and out these players have. Even if there's not a lot of space left, there is a lot of movement for them to have here. We see Team 4 sitting up here with a swarm, charging it up on the top of this hill. If they could get into a team like Team Tryhard over here at Team 6, they could do some massive damage with this swarm if nobody's looking. And we see Team 4 let that rip, but they're going to take a couple shots from a musket and back off and opt to cancel the rest of that out. Team 4 moving up the hill, trying to get the high ground and get away from this. K-Taco sees Team 4 come up and says, I'm out of here. You can have this high ground if you want it, and is going to slip away. Goes over the wall, is going to push into some other teams, but Team 4 does not want to let him get away. Jodobo and team also turning onto this, and Team 4 choosing to back off of this.
Backing off it is right, but it looks like player 6 is also struggling here. They're going to try to see if they can pop their ult and see if they can use that as well. Game Too Hard is using their cannon and is successful and able to help their teammates get that kill while down in this small little... Oh, and there goes the fire that gets sent in and sends the whole team back. Definitely questions it. Tryhard is dangerously low. So is LC way in the back right there, just struggling to see if they can catch anything just to have enough time. There was a lot of space, and now that space is no more. I really wish someone had a Bane's Breath right now. It'd be incredible to see either the players go down or a lot of people be able to maneuver to get out of this.
We see the Earthshaker come out, and he stone forms every part of it. but he does not capitalize onto the stone form here, but no parry onto the Earthshaker. Huge coming out from this team.
That was actually insane to see him dodge every last one of those. That's insane.
See Jodobo here getting caught out by Team 4 again. Jodobo trying to get away, but it's going to get gatekept into the zone. Team 4 hurting here as we see the Flamer come out from Team 3. Team 4 finding just a quiet respite to reset, looking to go out on the hunt for more of those kills. 9 players left alive. You see Team 4, Daku sees them charging up the swarm and comes in and says, nah, you can't have it, but Team 4 is all over Daku. Daku using his ult, trying to get a reset, trying to make anything happen. We see the Monk Belt come out. We see a Flamer coming up from top on Team 3. It looks like Daku might get out of this again.
Might is somewhat of an understatement. With that many people surrounding him, he got absolutely blessed with being able to dip up out of there and call it a day and say, I'm dipping up out of here. There's a whole lot of stuff happening when you surround yourself with this many people trying to attack and try to get these kills right now during the trios. There's 9 people alive. That means we're definitely within the top 5 currently of this. And there's, I mean, even within this section, listen, there's number 1, Humble just got absolutely knocked out. There's the full team of number 3, full team of 4, 114 and 1 number 1. So we have 2 full teams, 1 solo, 1 duo. A lot of people are trying to play smart here and wait on their next bits. And there goes Game Too Hard getting yeeted with a parry and being sent out of the storm. Getting held back by one of them. He's successful and able to get the heal. And no!
Team 4 gatekeeping that group as hard as humanly possible. All 4 of their members still in it. Team 3 down a member, about to be down a second member. 1 hit. Team 3 down to a single member. Team 4 still all in it. Daku hiding up in this tree still. The last of Team 3 comes down. We see the bell come out, but does he have the ult? We don't know as they go in. It's complete chaos. And Team 4 is going to knock out Team 3. And it's a game too hard left for Team 3. And we see Tryhard
1v3
and Daku hiding in the top of the tree, trying to fight for any placement he can get.
1v1v3. This is how you do it here. It looks like number 4 is going to try to go for the solo person to get that extra kill. Actually might be really important right now. If he can end up successfully getting that kill, there's that opportunity that he has, not only for placing the walls of the points, goes for the parry, gets him down. Is he going to try to finish him? He will try as best he can, but here comes the ult. The ult, he goes up and he's live. There's another ult coming in as well from team number 4. Goes through. There's 2 on top of the hill. He's going to try to see if he can get a pull. It's unsuccessful. Goes for another. Keeps trying to go through the grabs and it keeps missing as much as possible.
The only one left here, 1 member of Team 3, Team 11, and it doesn't matter as Team 4 is going to clutch this out. Tryhard, the last member left alive, going to be knocked out of the zone, and Team 4 claims the final zone for round 2.
That was a little too nonchalant for Team 4 there. 8 kills, 7 kills, 4 kills. That is a lot of damage they just did.
That's a lot of damage.
It seemed easy for them in some way. It feels a little bit like how we saw Rose last time with the trio team. It gave me a little bit of that just... We got this in the bag. We don't have to really relax. We can really just kind of go in hard and just kind of handle the rest of these teams. It really felt like they knew they were going to win this. There was a lot of confidence by this team, but they just did not let up.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to lie. That last moment gets so crazy, and RuneKeeper, I think you'll end up agreeing with me. The gatekeeping, the edge of the circle play was next level. Between the cannon shots, I saw you calling that out, Dobby, kind of pushing them away. They really played the edge of the circle unbelievably well. And I know that Team 4 was actually one of the ones a little bit higher up after the first round when we checked the leaderboard. So this could end up being a game ceiling or a top seed ceiling perhaps performance out of them. What were your takeaways there? Do you agree with any of that, or am I just crazy?
Oh no, you have again Team 4 here walking away with a 19 bomb here. Okay, we saw the 16 bomb last game. We see a 19 bomb this game.
Almost hit a 20.
Is a huge contender right now. But the moment that turned this game for them was the clutch greatsword right click on top of that shed where they knocked Team 3's healer out into the zone and then the rest of Team 4 shows up as she tries to get back into the zone, takes 3 or 4 big ticks in that zone, and we know that last zone cuts really hard, and the rest of Team 4 says, no, we knocked you out, this is our house, you're not coming back in. Gate keeps them and puts Team 3 on the back foot. No healer, 2 players left alive. They do manage to get a res back up eventually right there at the edge of the circle, but it's not enough as Team 4 just holds down the house of cards and says, nope, this is our game.
Yeah, they played an absolutely fantastic match, and now after 2 of our semifinals for the trios, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to find out who stands where at the end of it all. As Dot Gaming up the tippity tip top. I'm just gonna have to assume that was Team 4 because the number of kills is insane. Though I mean, Team 2 had a lot of kills as well, but I think that Team 2 might not be Team 4. Dobby.
No, absolutely. Especially, also know this too. Number 3 and number 4. 1.5 point difference from 3rd and 4th place, right? Notice how small of a region it is, and then notice how big the region is between 1 and 2, right? 53.1 points, 46.9 points, 31 kills, 29 kills. The difference in points versus kills, the ratio around that is widely different. And that goes to show you how important those kills are, but it also goes to show you how important those placements are. If you are the last player on your team, if you have the opportunity to clutch as much as possible and get to the point where you're at least top 3, those multiplier points are going to help you tremendously going into that next game. And knowing what just happened, what we just saw, because they did not do an insane massacre in that first game. They were able to get some points. They were able to get some kills, but they was not dropping 19 bombs in that first round. So to be able to do that and then drop that it makes sense. I understand why they're in the top speed, and they're going to the finals next week. So, congratulations, y'all put in some work.
We're gonna see more of them against the rest of the tippity top of the competition. Runekeeper, give me your final thoughts on this. What's your takeaway from today? Did we get? I feel like we didn't quite have the same level of the ulti combos going off outside of missing a million grabs at the end with the Monk, but I feel like we didn't get quite as much of the Valda ult with the Viper ult today.
We didn't see a whole lot of opportunity for Vipers to follow up on the Valda ult. The thing with that combination being so good is you have to catch multiple members of the enemy team so that the Viper can throw that ult up and freely just go, look, 2 of your members are stunned, you can chase me all you want, but you're all getting stunned if you stay here. But if you can't manage to catch those Valda ultis, the Viper ult isn't guaranteed, it's not as strong. What we saw a lot of was ult kind of shifting. We would see a team use an ult aggressively, and then they would kind of hold back on those other 2 ults to see if things were going to go onto the back foot. And then if they went onto the back foot, they were like, all right, well, we can use the Monk ult defensively. We can reset. Maybe we get lucky, pick up some kills. And then once that ult went down, it gave them one other ult to fall back onto if they re-engaged. So these other teams were kind of wary after the reset to re-engage because they're like, well, we saw 2 ults, but they've got that 3rd ult. We might have used our abilities and a couple of our ults in that trade as well to get those 2 ultimates. Do I really want to, do we risk it and re-engage on that 3rd ult or not? So I think what a lot of these teams are doing is instead of trying to combo those ultimates, because if you do combo those ultimates, it's really strong. But if you combo those ultimates and go to pick up those kills and then you get 3rd-partied, you've got nothing left. You're out in the open. You don't have a way to respond to these other teams coming into you who do have their ultimates. So it comes down to kind of a macro play where these players this week seem a little more hesitant to try to combo those ultimates because they're afraid of those 3rd parties.
I could not have possibly asked for more in-depth answer to the question. I really appreciate that, Rune. I think that's a good point. Like the madness, Dobby, trying to set up complex plays, something that we haven't been able to see. But that does it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Naraka BladePoint Morris Cup Season 3 Finals are next week. That's right, next Saturday. Keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be in the studio bringing you the action, a little live shenanigans.
I'll see all of you guys next week in person to hug all of you.
It's going to be a fantastic time, and the actual final of all finals will be shortly after. So, you know, we've done all these seasons, we built up all this hype. Let's give it a good finish as we end season 3 next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Make you regret it.